We are not only introducing a new character in Black Adam to the world, but also we are building out the country called Khandaq.
Kahndaq is very much in need of a champion. Black Adam doesn't necessarily want to be a savior or a hero, but he has to be.
Kahndaq was basically an empire 5,000 years ago.
It's also a city that's endured a ton of hard times. They've never had anyone really fight for them.
Black Adam is a hero to his people of Khandaq because he cares.
If Black Adam doesn't save Kahndaq, no one will.
When it comes to Kahndaq and the history, it's sort of the kill or be killed, you know? It's like everyone's on the run. Intergang has been in power for 27 years, and everyone's gotten used to this new regime. It's a very sort of oppressed society. People have lost loved ones, but you don't really have time to sit there and to mourn. You just put your head down and you get the job done.
What's so cool about the role of Adriana and Amon and myself, it's a representation of the people. They're the oppressed, the forgotten, the neglected. It's about getting away from imperialist powers and this occupation they've been living in for so long.
This is like before Babylon, before the pyramids, so there's not a lot of reference for what things looked like, you know, back then. We basically took from the comic books and we created a Kahndaq that was unique and interesting.
The Black Adam comic book is set in the Middle East, so we had a lot of real cultural history for inspiration.
From the beginning when we were looking for a production designer, Tom Meyer just stood out. He put so much research and work into kind of his design and vision for Kahndaq.
Jama had wanted to find a point in history to open up this film. We were talking about the kind of terrain that these ancient mines might look like. And our location manager came to me and said, I went someplace really cool. It's totally unexpected.
We found ourselves in middle Georgia, down near Roberta. We found an empty portion of a sand mine. It's a company called Atlanta Sand and Supply that have been gracious enough to let us make camp here with them for a few days and turn their mine into ancient Kahndaq and modern day Kahndaq as well.
It's this meringue whip of beautiful fingers of sand and sandstone. And when you find a gift like that, you have to argue to go there.
This location was kind of a unique challenge for us. It was a lot of fun, and there's basically no access to the pit. It's been sitting abandoned for many years. The amount of equipment and gear and parking and tents and cooling for everybody, you know, just to make a film happen properly and safely and keep everybody comfortable and safe from the sun and the weather and all that. It's a huge, huge undertaking.
I don't know this place.
This is your home.
Now, when we fast forward 5,000 years later, that Kahndaq no longer exists.
But Jama was really interested in having Khandaq be a real city that you could feel real people living in, and he wanted it to have a sense of history.
This Kahndaq has been occupied over and over again through the centuries for different invaders who have been searching for the resources of the land.
We looked at places like Rome, where you have all these fantastic ancient ruins right in the middle of the city, and there's no delineation or separation between you and history. Khandaq needed to have a sense of energy and kinetic movement, and we decided to put a marketplace, a huge marketplace in the middle of the city to give that sense of community.
When we first sort of approached the Central Market, I took it in a very literal way. And then when I had dialogue with Jama, he wanted it to be something that we haven't seen, having it be mildly futuristic.
And it's kind of an embargoed city. And so we did have an idea that the city's been cut off from the rest of the world. And so in some ways, modern technology has been kept out. We wanted to show the ingenuity of the city. How do cell phones get recycled? How do these beautiful cars get recycled and reused?
I'm a real big fan of the Khandaqi props. These are like crazy cell phones we just sort of did up. They're also a little funky, you don't really know. They're old 90s cell phones that we just sort of dressed out. This phone, before this was on, it was just like an old BlackBerry, and they found it on the ground, it doesn't work. In our film, they would take it to someone who would strip parts out of something else and figure out how to get it to work.
We really wanted to make it feel like a rich country, rich in heritage, rich in culture, rich in people, even if everything is not brand new.
Mom? Come on, where are you? No. What? I mean, what are their bikes? What bikes?
We've really pushed the bars in terms of what we can do with technology.
Jama wanted us to be able to see these worlds and experience these worlds before we actually built them, before we shot them.
And then in the blue screen, that's where you need the help of visual effects to tell you what you're looking at.
And so we used what's called Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is this amazing real-time rendering. We were able to design our environments to scale, put them into Unreal Engine, and then we had AR goggles that we would put on, Oculus, and we were able to fly through the city, we were able to walk through the environments, we were able to put real lenses on, and Jama could frame up some of the shots.
So you have a city that suddenly feels reinvigorated because this champion has arrived, and he's going to take Khandaq under his wing at the end of this, and God forbid anyone cross that line, because it's not going to be a good day for them if they do.